In this episode, I want to kind of break down how to actually choose a business coach that fits you, not just someone flashy on Instagram or with a 10-step formula. We'll talk about why value alignment matters more than hype, why you shouldn't expect a coach to have answers to questions you haven't even asked yet, and how setting clear goals and intentions about the coaching journey will actually help you avoid wasting time and money on the wrong mentor. So whether you're thinking about joining a group program, hiring a one-on-one coach or mentor, or you're just feeling stuck on who to trust, then this one's for you. So yeah, I wanted to give my 2 cents on this because I do see a big trend of people becoming coaches, quote unquote. And I say quote unquote because a lot of these people that are becoming coaches aren't really in a position to be coaching people at all. I saw something similar with the e-commerce space. There's an abundance, it is a cesspool of people who are pseudo coaches, people that are trying to coach people on how to do something that they've never done themselves. And they lie and they deceive people into thinking that they have done something substantial or of significance, like building an online store to, perhaps 7 or 8 figures in revenue, when that really isn't the case. Obviously, it's a lot easier to fake with e-commerce. It's a lot harder to fake with, something like cleaning. It's hard to fake that you've had a big cleaning business because people are going to be asking like, well, where's all your reviews? Where's pictures of your team? Where's all this stuff? So yeah, a lot of people are becoming coaches in the space, especially here in Australia. And yeah, I don't see any that I would trust myself after doing a little bit of recon. And so I can imagine it would be very hard for people to kind of assimilate and understand or develop an idea of who they should really trust when there's this many people out there that are, trying to grab their attention and pull them left and right. So yeah, if you are in Australia or perhaps New Zealand, you may have seen a certain business coach who has quite the reputation and not a good one. And yeah, a lot of people don't like that particular person because of things that they have done. They have ripped people off. It's quite well known that a lot of their income is now subsidized by their coaching and their actual cleaning business is not doing very well. And that's quite typical. I see a big trend of people who, sure, they build a decent cleaning business, like they build a business to, let's just say $100,000 to $150,000 in profit, which is, it's mostly them doing the work because they don't really have a big team. And they get to that point and they're like, this is hard. The physical work is hard. I just want to make this money elsewhere easily. And then they're like, what can I do? Oh, I can do coaching. I can make the same amount of money from my laptop. So much more appealing to them. But you as the end user or as the mentee, as the person that is being coached, do you really want someone who is coaching you on how to build a cleaning business when they literally went into coaching because they couldn't keep up with their cleaning business anymore? They didn't know how to get themselves out of it and figure out how to get out of that rat race. And so there's one thing, but then there's the other hand where there's people that just blatantly lie about building a cleaning business to a certain size. Like there is one other person who I've looked at and they claim to have quite a large business. But when I've gone and dug a little deeper into it, it's like a front. Like the website is a front. You can't even book anything. There's like no contact information. There's no photos of the team and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know if this person has a cleaning business. So yeah, it's definitely a weird landscape out there when it comes to coaches. And I also want to preface this by saying, and I've said this before, but I'm not a coach. Like I consider myself more of a mentor. Like I barely even consider myself a mentor, but definitely not a coach. I feel like a coach is someone who's going to pick you up and dust you off and pat you on the back when things aren't doing well. Like I'm not really that. I'm someone that just kind of shows people how to do what I've done. I make courses I made courses on how to hire staff and how to set up a hiring funnel, how to run Google ads, how to start a cleaning business, all this stuff. But I don't really coach people. And, I'm 6 years into this business now. I've still never done one-on-one coaching. I did it for a month. Like I remember I put a calendar link in my link tree on TikTok for people to book one-on-one calls with me. And I did like 6 and then I just got bored of it. And I was like, I don't even really think this is helping anyone. Like one-on-one session with me really isn't going to move the needle much. I was just telling people what they should have already known about themselves and their business. I'm like, really? You need me to tell you this? Which is what coaching is. Coaches usually tell you things that you need to know. Things that you already know that you just need to have reinforced. And so, yeah, I got bored of that. And then I eventually started my group community, which is where I post courses. I do Q&A calls to everyone, but I still don't do one-on-one coaching in there for a lot of reasons. If I'm going to do something one-on-one, I would probably just want to do it for someone, or done with you. Not like I'm just telling you what to do, but I actually do it with you, hands-on. And I explain what's happening, I explain what we're doing, and I actually help you achieve that. But anyway, I digress. Bottom line is, it's really hard to find a good, reputable, and authentic coach right now. And there's just so many people popping up that really should not be coaching, and yet here they are. And there's people that I'm starting to see, even some people on TikTok that I've seen that have, they started their business 6 months ago and they're already trying to become coaches. It's like, it just baffles me. I spent 4 years building my business before I even got on TikTok. And then after 2 years of being on TikTok, that's when I started my group course program with the Q&As and everything. So people that really build legit businesses, they're not going to do coaching like that. They will want to get themselves to a point where they have nothing on their plate before they do that. I waited until I was fully removed from my business before I even considered selling courses, right? You have to think about it. If someone has a legit business, if someone has a business that they're really building, do you think they have the time to be coaching people for $100 an hour? No, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I want to talk about a few things and maybe just kind of break down some of the beliefs and also reinforce what you should be really looking for. So I think the main thing is just to start with you. Start with you and not them. Because I think a lot of people will see someone on TikTok and they'll be like, oh, that person looks like they built such a great business and they look like they really know what they're doing. I want them to coach me. I don't know what they're going to coach me on. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I just know that this person has the answer and the keys to the kingdom that I'm trying to get to. It's not always the case. You really need to start with you and not them. You need clarity before you need a coach. And if you don't know what you want, you'll end up attracted to whoever's best at selling it. Okay, I want you to hear that again. If you don't know what you want, you'll end up attracted to whoever's best at selling it. And that's why you see all these people promoting a flashy lifestyle and claiming to have a great deal of success in business and this and that. And then people gravitate to them because of that, because they want to have that lifestyle and they want to achieve that for themselves. But because they didn't actually find that within themselves first, and they didn't define values and goals and have clarity for what they really want, they just gravitate to the flashiest person on Instagram and TikTok. And then inevitably, they don't really find any success because it's a mismatch. It's the wrong way to go about it. And that's why you need to set your goals and intentions first. Am I trying to grow revenue? Am I trying to fix systems? Am I trying to get some of my time back? Am I trying to delegate more? What is the real goal here short term? Obviously, you want to get to a point where you can fully remove yourself from your business or just make a certain amount of money. But there's lots of little milestones and goals that you have to get to first before you can even think about doing that. So you really need to have that clarity before you go out and find a coach, because you don't hire a personal trainer when you don't even know if you're trying to bulk, if you're trying to cut, or if you're just trying to move better or feel better, or even just fix your diet, right? You have those goals for yourself first, usually, I hope. So yeah, that's really important. And, don't ever expect a coach to read your mind. They can't give you answers to questions you haven't even asked yourself yet. So the sense of they didn't help me, that often comes from misaligned expectations, not bad coaching, which is something you see a lot. It's I paid that coach this amount of money and it was over this amount of months and we did all this work together and it didn't help me. And, usually it's because there's a mismatch of values and goals and expectations. So it's not always the coach's fault, but on that same token, it can also be the coach's fault because they knowingly took you on, knowing that you didn't have all of this in set in stone, because they just want the money, right? A lot of coaches will, I have a private community, so I don't let people in if I don't think that they're going to benefit anything from it. I've turned away probably 20 people that I can remember from my school community, and the value of that to me is like $40,000. But they're just people who I didn't think would benefit from it. There's people who were too big to the point where like the courses in there and the Q&As weren't really going to serve much of a purpose to them. And I told them maybe come back in future if I ever do one-on-one, or if I do more high-level courses, which I'll probably do one day once I've done all the basic stuff first. And there's people who are like haven't even started yet, and they don't even know if they really want to do a cleaning business. I'm like, yeah, it's probably not the best for you either. I want to make sure that you're really set on doing this. So I really emphasize the screening for not only the coach, like the coaches should be screening you as well. They shouldn't just be taking anyone on. That's a red flag. And you should also be screening your coaches and asking them questions and asking yourself questions about what you really want. So yeah, don't expect the coach to read your mind. Come prepared with your pain points, your goals, and your bottlenecks, because coaching isn't therapy. It's supposed to be a partnership. All right. And values matter as well. So ask yourself, do I respect how they live? Do I respect how they lead? And do I respect how they run their business? If you can actually see that they run a business, because like I said, a lot of people don't anyway. Because there's a lot of people out there that I look at and I'm like, I don't respect how you lead. I don't respect how you treat people. And I certainly wouldn't want to learn from you or do business with you. Okay? Like, do their values match what you want for your own business? Are they family first? Are they systemized? Are they like hustle and bustle? Or are they more like lifestyle oriented? And most importantly, would you trade places with them? If not, why are you trying to learn from them? Your coach is supposed to be the person that's getting you to the point where they're at. That's why they're a coach, because they've achieved a level of success that you're after. And if you wouldn't even want to trade places with them, why would you want them to coach you? You know what I mean? So values matter, but also affinity and communication style. So some people need accountability. Like others just need the strategy. Others need a bit of a sounding board. Others need that accountability partner. So does the coach speak your language? Do you feel comfortable being vulnerable with them? Do you feel comfortable opening up to them and talking about your biggest problems in not only your business, but also your personal life? Because business and your personal life are so intertwined together that it does matter to talk about these things. It's not just about the best coach. It's about what's best for you at this stage. Remember that. It's about this stage right here, right now. You're not thinking about yourself in a year or two. You're thinking about where you are right now, and you want a coach to be able to meet you where you're at this very moment. So be aware of the shiny promises as well. That's the biggest thing that I'm seeing at the moment, is just people promising the world and like I said, really showing that extravagant lifestyle and all this and that and how much money they're making, even though they're very baseless claims. You can't really back that up with anything. There's no proof or even evidence of that. And so watch out for the coaches that sell certainty when business is never certain. That's a big thing. And if it feels too formulaic, just ask how flexible they are with tailoring things to different models and different personalities. Because courses are great, but if their whole coaching program is built on frameworks, like one size fits all frameworks, it's probably not going to be best for you, because coaching should be tailored to the individual. Like I said, with mine, I sell courses. Well, I don't sell them. I sell access to my community where you get all my courses for one price. I do the Q&As, but I don't do one-on-one coaching because I don't really want to do that yet. Like I want to focus all of my time on building my new locations that enhance. So if I was doing one-on-one, it would take a lot more time for me. I would have to tailor everything to the individual, set up custom plans and reviews and implementation sessions. I just don't really want to spend the time doing that at this stage. So yeah, beware of the shiny promises. If a coach is selling certainty when business is never certain, run the other way. All right. And look at their track record and proof. What have they actually done? Look at who they've helped, not just what they've done themselves, and make sure you can actually verify that these accounts and these testimonials are real. Do they have testimonials from businesses like yours? And if so, can you actually go and back that up and see that that's a real business, that's a real person, and maybe even talk to that individual as well and just find out a bit about their experience, because you'll be surprised. There may be glowing testimonials about a coach or a business, but then you'll go and talk to that person that left that testimonial, and it'll turn out that they actually fell out with that person and they would not recommend them today, but they keep that testimonial up on the website regardless. So yeah, that's an important thing as well. And sorry, there's a siren going past me. Where was I? What was I saying? Track record and proof, I think. Testimonials, whatever. Can they break down why something worked as well? Not just say that this is the way. Can they actually break down the game behind the game, the strategy behind the strategy? Can they break down to you in layman's terms why the stuff that they teach actually works? It's because you don't want someone that has just learned from someone else and is just like, duplicating the process for you. You want to be able to understand the reason why things work as well, because that's the main thing. It's like, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man a fish, feed him for life. You don't just want someone to give you the thing to plug into your business and then, you just carry about your day. You want someone to be able to explain to you and help you develop a deeper understanding of why things work, because that'll set you up for more success long term. Like in my courses, I not only show people how to do what I'm doing, but I also explain the intricacies behind everything as well. So that's really important. And with anything else, just take it slow as well. Treat it like a real relationship. You're not going to marry someone after a week of knowing them. So take the coaching relationship slow. Start with a call or very short-term engagement if possible. See how they respond when you're stuck. Are they going to empower you, or are they going to lecture you, or are they just going to give you some very basic advice? Are they okay with you asking hard questions? And are they going to be receptive to those hard questions? Are they actually going to be helpful and help you actually figure out where you're at and how to break down barriers and achieve your goals? So that's kind of my 2 cents when it comes to finding the right coach and assimilating who and why someone is going to be good for you, if that makes sense. So yeah, like I said, a coach isn't going to fix unclear goals and broken focus or a lack of discipline. Like, it's just, obviously we should all know that by now, but I think some people probably need to be reminded of that. And sometimes the best investment is just time alone to reflect. Like, get your house in order and then get the support that you need. So, a good coach will light your path, but they don't walk it for you. Obviously you can get a done for you program where someone will actually do it for you. But if you're like, think of it this way, if someone has built a $1 million business and they're going to be working with you one-on-one, or perhaps even doing it for you, imagine how much money they would have to charge for that to be worth their while and worth their time. That's why I'm saying there's a mismatch between what people are claiming and what they're saying to what they're actually delivering and charging and talking about on social media. There's people claiming that they built a $5 million business, but then you go on their website and they're charging like $100 an hour for one-on-one coaching. Like, it just doesn't add up. It does not stack up. And then they'll probably give the excuse that they just love helping people. Yeah, sure. Okay, right. I love helping people too, but I also put myself first. So I'm not going to undersell myself to help someone else. You have to put your oxygen mask on before you can help others. I want to make sure that I'm keeping myself fed so that I can keep others fed. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on coaches. Just be very careful at the moment, because there's a lot of foxes in our hen house. There's a lot of people who are claiming to have done significant things in the business landscape when in fact they have not. And for some reason, some people have built cult followings like this, the big one in particular that everyone knows. I was going to say knows and loves. Not true, not the case. But the big one everyone tends to know is, yeah, she has made lots of baseless claims. I have had people come to me saying that they've been ripped off. I also just realized I started the podcast by saying they, now I'm on to she, so that narrows things down for you. I'm probably going to end the episode by saying her full government name and home address. I'll try not to do that. But yeah, I've had people come to me saying they were scammed and literally scammed. Like, she took money from them and did not deliver anything. And they were so scared to broach that with her, and I actually had to help them get their money back. I've had people come to me saying they paid exorbitant amounts of money for coaching from her, and then what they were given was like very crappy work that was done by a VA in the Philippines that they could have just gotten done on Fiverr for like $10, and they paid $5,000 for it. So yeah, it angers me when that stuff happens. It really frustrates me seeing other people getting ripped off like that, because all I can think about is when I take myself back to when I started my business or when I was trying to grow, I was looking for a coach and I just could not find anyone who I thought was actually genuine and authentic. And if at that point I got ripped off by a coach, that would have been really, really disheartening on my business journey. So I hate seeing it. And unfortunately, it's only going to become more and more prevalent now. There's so many people becoming coaches when they really shouldn't be. And so just exercise discernment and really, really take your time before you make these decisions, and just make sure you're asking yourself all the right questions first. Like, what do I really want? What's this person like? Is this person right for me? And are they going to be able to really help me? And just do a bit of recon, do a little bit of background checking, make sure the things they say actually stack up, make sure they're not just telling tall stories and that they've actually done the things they say, because that is equally important. I believe that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if someone is lying to all of their followers about things they've done or haven't done in their business, then they're probably going to lie to your face as well if you're doing one-on-one coaching. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on coaches. Be very careful. I'm seeing so many people coming into the scene and they started a business 6 months ago and now they're trying to coach just because they're sick of cleaning, but they don't want to do the hard yards and actually grow their cleaning business and then take themselves out. They just want to shortcut and make easy money from their laptop, just telling people how to build a very mediocre business, or not even a business, a job. They're trying to teach you how to build a job. So with that in mind, I hope that you're able to take some of this away and use it for yourself. And if you are at the stage in your business where you're looking for a coach, I'm sure there's great ones out there. I personally haven't found any good ones. My piece of advice would actually be to look for a mentor, not a coach. So someone that you admire in business, maybe someone that you know used to have a business, just approach them and be like, hey, would you be willing to mentor me? Like someone that's maybe retired or someone that has built a large business and they've got a lot of free time. That's actually where you're going to find the best results. I was mentored by someone who was retired. He had built and sold like 40 businesses, and he had all the time in the world and all the knowledge and all the skills and know-how to help me. I wouldn't go to someone who's flat out doing 60 hours a week in their own business and then being like, hey, can you help me as well? Like, those people are not in a position to do it. So that's an idea as well. But yeah, just exercise caution. I'm sick of seeing people get ripped off. I hope that we can start to put an end to that, because it's very annoying and it's ruining the image of the whole community here. So yeah, that's everything on coaching that I wanted to share. If you have any questions about any of that, feel free to send me a message on Instagram or TikTok. Like I said, I don't do any one-on-one stuff at the moment. So there are people every day that will DM me or call me or email me asking if I'll coach them one-on-one. And my answer is still the same. Like I'm just not really at that stage where I want to be doing that yet, but I may do that in the near future. I'll see how things go and I'll see how I'm feeling about it. So yeah, if that time comes, if I decide to start doing that, I'll definitely put the word out there and maybe I'll help a few people out one-on-one. So that would be great. And for the time being though, just keep doing what you're doing, but make sure you really find clarity for yourself first before you go out there looking for a coach, because they're not going to solve problems that you haven't really addressed with yourself yet. And remember, if you don't know what you want, you'll end up attracted to whoever's best at selling it. So be careful and stay safe. Thanks for listening to another episode of Self-Made. I'll talk to you next time.